Tell us something. Well, all no so-called vloggers on TikTok. When I go vlog about no mama or no girl posting a vlog about squash. Squash could never be a sin. You wanna know about play deal? What do you know about play deal? What play deal mean in a foreign? Dirty now, someone may talk about badness up here. A suck on a girl around no mama. I get up at night time with no name catch his mouth. And no batty man looking waste the fast na people busy body better after uno. Uno can't find somebody sick like a debate pan. Uno come on from my son blood clot name. Uno our vultures pan TikTok vloggers. Vultures pan TikTok uno have vultures. Uno tap Nyamo squash batty wall from one to all. Wanna know about? Eh? Nobody can laugh for the man. Wanna know about my son, Dranko?
Hello, my friends. My name is Sith. Welcome to the new portal for upright men and women. Stay with me as we continue on our journey to true enlightenment and bear just one thing in mind. I take no Sith. I just keep Sith real. That you saw there in the video clip before the intro is the individual who is walking around with the cursed womb that carried something like squash into the world. And it is obvious that she no look nowhere different from him. So you can see that the DNA is in her and where it started from. Couldn't expect anything better to come out of that womb. Like I've always said, blood follow vein. Now, let's get into today's story. Guys, I've been tracking a very critical story over the past few weeks. Even though it was somewhat sensational, I decided that I would not carry it at any point or make a hint at it because I didn't want to do anything or disclose any information that would have somehow that run the risk of sabotaging police work in Jamaica. But now that I've proven that things has reached a stage where the police work is more or less complete, I think it is time I can bring the story. As most of you might already know, Andre Whitaker, more popularly known as Squash, badman, gunman, criminal, scum of the earth, Squash, was sentenced on Monday to 2 years and 3 months in a federal prison for being caught in the United States with 3 firearms. At the time when he had been caught, that is in February of this year, he was slapped with several charges: possession of a machine gun, possession of short barrel shotgun and rifle, carrying a concealed weapon which was a Glock pistol, and of course doing so while being illegal in the country is an extra charge. He was also charged with being the leader of an organized criminal gang. In September this year, he pleaded guilty to all charges. But of course, some of the charges were dropped. At the time when he pleaded guilty, certain information began to reach me. But of course, I did not act on it at the time, and for good reason. But now I'm going to disclose some information that very few people are privy to. And the reason why I'm disclosing this information now is because the police actions have more or less been complete, and me not have no puss float out of the bag. Now, originally when Squash had been arrested, he was facing a maximum of up to 15 years in jail. 15 years! So we were thinking, or any logical thinking person would say, let us assume that he plead guilty. He's gonna get half of that. So say him get 7.5 years or say 7 years. But lo and behold, when Squash was sentenced on Monday, that is November 24th, he was sentenced to just 2 years and 3 months. Now guys, you guys know we have a saying in Jamaica say, you never see smoke without fire. You see, the American justice system, it is not a very lenient one. When American justice system are put your way, they do their best to get you put away for the longest stretch imaginable. That is how they work. So, how did Squash come to get less than a quarter of the maximum sentence that he could have gotten? Well, guys, 4 are the top ranking badman in Jamaica over the past few months have been picked up by the local fugitive apprehension team, put on planes to the United States to face justice, and all of these 4 are connected to Squash. The last one left last night, November 26th, which give me now the full latitude to explain what is going on. And of course, I'm going to tell you who these people are and what link they have to him and what they had done. But just to remind you, Be a Good Tune, Sunday, December 14th at the FDS Gaming and Lounge. Start time 4 p.m., which we mean we start playing music from 2 o'clock or earlier. Early settings we are deal with, and it's in aid of hurricane victims in Westmoreland. What we're trying to do is to buy some solar powered generators to at least give some people some light down there. We think they're getting enough food support, so we're going for something much more practical. Be a Good Tune mean just that. Be a Good Tune we are playing. Mostly 70s, 80s. So you know we're doing some Lloyd Parks, Peter Tosh, Mighty Diamonds, Chalice, Third World, Steel Pulse, Junior Mervyn, Taurus Riley, Jacob Miller, Peter Metro, Freddie McGregor, Cool Ruler, Gregory Isaac, and so on. Be a Good Tune. Mostly 70s, 80s, but we might have thrown in some 60s and some 90s. Once they fit in the program, Be a Good Tune we are playing. Hope to see you there. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. As you guys know, Squash call himself an entertainer, which is what most dregs of society do. So they can appear to have a career and they can appear legit while doing all of their illegal activities under the quiet. Calling themselves producer and entertainer give them a legitimate persona and takes away from the true activities that they are doing and explain how they make their living. Now, these 2 live in Salt Spring. They are Paul Grant, them call him Gucci, and Patrick Kelly, known, his street name is Parker. Now, Gucci and Parker left the island about 3 weeks ago for the United States and are to stand trial. Both Parker and Gucci are cousins. 2 sister picnic. And a long time them are going with things in a Salt Spring. Parker is the elder cousin. He is 34 according to what I hear. And the younger one is about 27, 28. Both of these 2 were deported from the United States a few years ago. And since they come back, they went back into Salt Spring and were recruited by Squash in a no time. They were rotating between him and G-Man, which is Squash brother, late brother, because he has since died, killed by police. The other 2 are Benjamin Harriet and Ainsley Thompson. Now, Benji Harriet, him goes by the name, well, him claimed to be an artist, and Squash was supposed to be his producer. I don't know if any of the song he sings are, well, them people are not sing. Some would call what them do song, but Benjamin Harriet, aka Little Benji, is a known gangster. One of the last deaths that Little Benji's name was called upon was that of Wayne Parker, who was shot and killed in his taxi right in Sam Sharp Square while he was picking up passenger one night in August of this year. And he got shot and died on the spot, and Little Benji name called. Little Benji also was involved in scamming just like the previous two, and they were all deported from the United States. So they are actually wanted for crimes over there. The last one though, Ansel Thompson. He is not known to have ever traveled to the United States. Nevertheless, as a top scammer in the Montego Bay area, they had reasons to pick him up. He was in Jamaica driving flashy cars. He didn't seem to own any property, but he always living in high-end communities, gated communities, and was known to be a person who distribute guns in the Granville community. But apparently, he did not appear so much on the police blotter. They knew of him, but they couldn't pin anything on him. So he was never actually wanted by the Jamaican authorities. But because of his involvement in the scamming of American citizens, of course, the federal government, according to their law, has every legal right to seek his extradition to come to the United States to face those charges. He was the last one to leave, and he left last night. Now, it is believed that the reason why Squash got such a low sentence, this might not be true, but it is believed. So please don't say the man sell out nobody. It is believed that Squash sold out some of his former gangsters in order to get a much lighter sentence. Or maybe the judge just see man like him. Who knows? But bear in mind, something particular about the US justice system. While they love to give hefty, brutal sentences, they are also known for being extremely lenient to convicted person or accused person who gives them valuable information that they can use to convict other known criminals. I will be keeping you abreast of what happens in the trial of these four individuals, and I'll definitely be bringing you that news. And I'm just keeping it real.